Hello, very good evening to everyone. What a pleasure to join you for the third consecutive night with our network marketing course and our topic of prospecting and invitation. Today we are starting the third module. We have already covered several topics such as types of prospecting, how to start prospering. Thank you. What types of prospects can we find? How can we classify them? How do we handle objections with these prospects? How do we create effective content for social media with prospecting in mind? How is the content list managed? And one or two. Another number of topics that we have found interesting to provide you with enough skills so that you can start your business in network marketing. Remember that my name is Valentina Escobar. I greet you from Bogota, Colombia, and it is a pleasure for me to accompany you today in this module 3, where we will talk about strategic invitation and action plan. And we will aim to learn how to invite with clarity and generate action so that our prospects come more frequently to our business presentations. So let's get into the subject. Ready? So let's start by understanding how we should make an effective invitation when it comes to network marketing businesses. The first thing we must keep in mind is that we should always generate a curiosity and always try to have our explanations in a very simple, very applicable language. Not too technical, but easy to digest and in very short explanations. It's something that will make anyone interested in knowing what you want to talk about and not have much difficulty understanding. So the clearer you are, the better your invitation will be. The first thing we must keep in mind is that we need to know our prospect. We talked about it yesterday, understanding a little about how it works, about their needs, about their environment, because that is what will make our explanation, our invitation create a connection with this prospect, and somehow we can direct our prospecting to meet their needs. So we must keep in mind that we need to know them very well. We already talked about it in the first class, that we had to know the product, know the company, know the system very well. In the second class, we talked about the need to connect with the prospect and know them in detail. Ask questions that always generate comments that allow us to learn more about our prospect in the language of opportunity versus that of pressure. So we find that the language of opportunity, well, as its name suggests, leads us to always be guiding the opportunity that the person has with our invitation. So whether it's a product or a service, what opportunity to make and invite to this neuromarketing team, the person will find at the moment of listening to us. So a very simple example of how it could be a language of opportunity is, I've noticed that you're looking for new ways to generate income, maybe not in a new job, but something that earns you money while you work, while you're with your children. I have an opportunity that could work for you. It might interest you. Do you want us to take a look at it? That is a way to show them that we have a solution to their need. There is an opportunity. We need to generate curiosity. So, before always inviting to our business, what we must be very clear about are the needs of these clients, of these prospects who can become our clients and users. Always look for what their interests are, what their needs are, what their motivation is. In this way, we will be able to apply this language of opportunity more easily and always generate curiosity. As I was saying initially, we must be brief and direct. And this will only be possible if we know well our product, our company, or our system well. This will allow us to make very short presentations and prospecting in a short time and with great clarity within the language of pressure. It is a language that we must avoid on many occasions. The language of expression can be confused with manipulation. So it's important to keep in mind that we should avoid expressions like, for example, this is your only chance. If you don't do it today, there will be no more opportunities for you. You must do it now, or this opportunity will be lost. That is one. These are expressions that create obligation in your prospect, right? They create a sense of urgency, a need to solve this now, without even knowing, without even seeing results, without anything, but it has to be now. So it doesn't generate trust. It creates an urgency of it, and it can seem like manipulation. We already talked in the previous class about how to handle certain types of objections, such as, for example, I don't have time. So we talked about the importance of reframing the objections that the user gives us. So for example, I don't have time now. As I said yesterday, we always show the opportunity. So in an objection of I don't have time, the correct response can be, I completely understand. I understand that you don't have the time precisely because I know you don't have the time at this moment. I want to offer you this opportunity. This opportunity can offer you the availability to do work from anywhere in the world at any time, and it will allow you to have more time with your family and more time to dedicate to developing your hobbies. Would you like to know how we could integrate it into your needs and daily activities? This is an example of how we could address this issue of time. But we will also look at topics like money and comparisons with previous businesses, which we must also be prepared to the answer correctly. Remember that we should always address objections in a positive manner, thanking them for bringing up this objection and thanking them for giving us the opportunity to respond to these objections that people have. I don't have money, but we can precisely resolve by knowing our product very well and giving it value. Remember that we should always be clear that the way we prospect is also a way to filter the quality of our team. So he doesn't have any money. Simply, it can serve as an opportunity to show this person that through our business, by doing it in an appropriate way, They can, on the contrary, generate income that will later allow them to have money. So, yes, of course, this is a valuable opportunity. You may have difficulties at this moment, but we can find ways for you to start with a minimal resources. And little by little, as the business starts giving you profits and results, you will be able to grow and have increasingly more acceptable results. On the subject of I already tried it, this is the same as B with ASO, X or Y company. So it's very important to highlight that the experience he has with other types of businesses similar to ours is very important, but it's also important for him to know our differentiating factor in relation to other companies that might be developing similar businesses to ours. Here, it plays a very important role. Learning a lot, knows about the company, about its legal framework, its constitution, where it is located, getting to know the offices, the system that this company offers us to develop our business, because it is with these tools that we will be able to show the differential framework that we have in relation to other companies or to other products that belong to the same industry as ours. Here, we find the topic of the type of invitation and follow-up. Remember that follow-up is quite important even from the classification we make of the projects. It is very, very important, and it is key not to stop doing that follow-up at each stage of our business development in the world. So within the types of invitation, we find edification, which becomes a tool, and teamwork. But what is this topic of edification? So it consists of highlighting the must qualities, achievements, career, and trajectory that a third person has had. Someone we have close in our work team and who represents some admiration for us. It's like a reference we have for where we can reach, how we can achieve the results we want. So a very interesting way to invite through edification is by inviting at the moments when those people make the business presentation. So for example, today, the business presentation will be conducted by my mentor, named the person who has achieved goals and whom I aspire to reach the goals he has achieved. So today I invite you to the business presentation. We have one scheduled at 1 o'clock and another at 8 in the evening. Juan Manuel is joining us today. He is someone who has been in the market for over 15 years doing network marketing business and achieving results. Today, he serves as the marketing director for this company, NV Global, and he is someone I admire. So I would like you to see how he presents, how he explains the benefits our service can offer you. And in this way, you can get closer to our community. This is a way to bring our prospects to these business presentations and spark curiosity. Why is she so impressed by this person who is going to speak? Why? What is this person going to tell me that is so important that they insist so much that I attend? That will generate curiosity. Curiosity, and it will at least make the person join us for the business presentation. It's also important that when we make these kinds of invitations, we are present to follow up. So for example, these types of presentations that we develop are online. Therefore, it's important that you provide the Zoom link or the Meet link or the tool you use for your presentations in advance. a few hours before the presentation, you should be asking, well, were you able to connect? Did you have any difficulties? Can I help you with anything? Are you in the room? Oh, great. After the session, how did you find it? What did you think of the person who was recommending it? Do you have any questions about everything that was explained? Do you want us to talk about the topics he covered in his presentation? That follow-up is absolutely key for our prospect to move from being a cold prospect, a warm prospect, to becoming a hot prospect, allowing us to close the deal more quickly. Remember that you always lead the process, not the prospect. So even though we provide them with tools and create an empathetic connection with the prospect, it is us who take on the role of leading the process we are in with that person. Therefore, it is very important that we always maintain our leadership during the invitation, during the follow-up we do with them. With this prospect, during the affiliation process, we always maintain that figure of leadership and support that will also provide them with backing for future processes within our community. This will make you become the leader of that team, and that this person always feels confident to consult because they know you will solve the difficulties or concerns they may start to have in order to create their own team later on. Well, and actually, today's class was very short. Anyway, I would like to show you here as well. I have brought a video where we will be able to see an example.
You sent a letter to my company a few weeks ago to request information on high potential and very low risk stocks. Do you remember? Great. Well, the reason for my call, John, is something caught my attention, John. It might be the best thing I've seen in the last 6 months. If you have a minute, I would like to share this idea. Do you have a minute? The name of the company is Aerotime International. It is an innovative high-tech company in the rural area of the country that is awaiting the imminent approval of a patent for next-generation detection radars that have both military and civilian uses. Now, at this moment, John, the over-the-counter stock trading is at 10 cents. And by the way, John, our analysts indicate that it could go much higher. Your profits from a $6,000 investment could be up to $60,000. Exactly, you could pay off your mortgage. John Kex, I can promise you one thing, even in this market, it's that I never ask my clients to judge me by my successes, but to judge me by my failures, because they are very few. And in the case of Aerotime, based on all the technical factors, John, I think you'd hit the jackpot. 4,000 would become 40,000, John. Let me close that purchase and my secretary will contact you to confirm the exact figure. Does that sound good, John? Good. Hey, John, thanks for your vote of confidence. And welcome to Investor Center. Goodbye. How the hell do you do it?
Well, as you can see, this is a fabulous example of a prospecting exercise that is precisely done in this movie, The Wolf of Wall Street, which you can watch and realize the number of things this character does to prospect and to generate better income. As you may have noticed, within that call, there are many factors that we have been able to see in this course. There is a full understanding of the product being offered, the investment being offered, about the company offering these shares, but there is also knowledge of that product. Prospect he is calling because they are already talking about how it could cover a mortgage. So there is already a need and a motivation being imparted to that prospect to make the decision, take action as soon as possible to get started. But if you also noticed, he does this through a call and he achieves it in a very short call. So the techniques we have studied today are also very key. Mention about clarity, generating curiosity, being very clear about what is being offered, and providing a very simple explanation of the system of how this user will generate that profit. So this is a brief example that things can indeed happen. Obviously, that salesperson will have experience, but he wasn't born with that experience. He has created it through a focus he has, a vision he possesses of achieving his goals. So it's an experience he has gained through training, and that can happen with any of us when we want to learn, when we want to be in these trainings, when we want to listen to them, to investigate, to go beyond what we are being asked to explain in this short time we have in this course. So my invitation today is for you to dare and courageously complete the exercises we have been developing, to review them and apply them to your personal life. Lastly, and for today, I also had prepared an activity that concludes this module 3. You know that in previous classes, we have already been working on other activities. And so in this closing activity, what I want to suggest is that you start by contacting from that list of contacts we have been developing in the last 2 classes. So start contacting at least 3 people daily. Use the scripts, use the handling of objections that we have seen, the scripts that we have already been able to adapt in previous classes, the suggestions that have been made to develop those scripts, and with each case, it's a different script. Do not attempt to use one script now to prospect all your users, because not all your users are the same. You should always customize and tailor the content of your scripts and adapt to the specific needs of your clients in order to be prospected. And always in that record, in that contact list, keep in mind the interactions you have had, that they mention, that they said no, that they gave you an objection, because that is what will allow you to mature your process, acquire skills, and be prepared so that when a prospect responds with something similar next time, you are ready not to let that prospect go, but to close the deal successfully. I have great confidence that the work we have developed on these 3 occasions will be useful to you, so that you dare to start. Finally, I want to extend the invitation for you to continue attending the classes we have developed. Tomorrow we will be explaining, we will cover the topic of business explanation. On Friday, Onin Kelly will be informing about the closing process. And we will continue with the follow-up process, providing details on how to conduct this follow-up that I have been mentioning. And finally, our colleague Jessica Rodriguez will cover the topic of affiliation. So I invite you to keep joining us every day at 7 p.m. We will be on the different Telegram and WhatsApp groups, providing the room and extending the invitation for you to continue educating yourselves with this course that NV Global has designed especially for you. It has truly been a pleasure for me to accompany you on this topic of prospecting. And finally, I would like to invite you not to forget to follow us on our social media. We have our YouTube channel, where you will be able to find the classes I have been mentioning, business presentations, and topics that our mentors have been guiding us on, also from Russia, from Turkey, from other parts of the world, and in different languages. This means that you will also be able to share it with your teams outside of Colombia who speak English, German, or Russian. As you can see, there is a large number of languages we can offer in which there is already information available. So take advantage of that information, leverage your business. From that information we have built so that you can also grow with us. We are on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram, and through all of them, you can find valuable information that will help your growth and the growth of your team. Thank you very much. I remind you, Valentin Escobar was with you. And until next time.